All right, hey, what's going on? Kate McShay here. I am the VP of Marketing here. If you are meeting me for the first time, I am super excited because I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 steps to create a killer introduction. Now, this is one of the most important things that you do, whether it's you're meeting face-to-face, whether it's you're meeting via Messenger, or you're actually looking to do what I like to call enrolling in bulk presentations. Your introduction is what gets people to stick. It's what gets people to stay. It's what gets people to build trust in you and what you have to share and how you can be a solution to solve some of the problems that they're going through. And so make sure that you sit tight. Make sure that you stick around. You're going to absolutely love this training. Okay. So how do you actually get more results in less time while you've got, crazy wild amounts of life to live? Seriously, you've got a life to live, you've got freedom that you want, but you're kind of stuck in your business, spending all your time there. Well, make sure you stick around with me because I've got something really cool that I'm going to be sharing with you all as well. So let's talk about the things that most people do ineffectively, okay? And why this is important for you and why it's important for your business, especially if you're thinking what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? How come I'm not getting the results that I'm looking to get when it comes to growing and building your business? Well, the introduction, consider, might be a part of it. What does it mean to you when it comes to when you hear the word presentation? Okay. For me, what I used to think that it was all right, how do I pitch my product? Right? Presentation for me was how do I share what I have so that I can close more sales? Okay. That was a huge thing for me in the beginning is how do I just get more info about my product out there? How do I present it? And instead I started looking at what is a presentation? Well, here's the deal. Okay. And then we're going to get into the first critical piece of what most people do wrong when it comes to creating a killer introduction. So that you actually have people who raise their hand and want to work with you and do it in bulk. What I mean is in mass, right? Get more people to say yes to you in less time. So I started to look at presentations differently. Okay. Presentations for me is it's not a webinar. It's not a video. It's not a hotel meeting. It's not a home party. What it is and what a presentation is literally how you show up as a leader, how you share valuable information that connects with your prospect, that then results in them wanting to connect with you, engage with you, relate to you, or, which we all ultimately want as business owners, right, is to buy and invest from you, whether it's buying one of your products, whether it's enrolling into your team. That's the important difference for what most people miss. And I would say one of the biggest things that most people do when it comes to setting up a presentation or thinking about presentations, it's oh yeah, how do I pitch my opportunity? How do I pitch my products? How do I find a way to make more sales? So recommendation number 1 is take a step back and look at, are you actually part of the problem when it comes to the results that you're having because of how you show up to your Facebook Lives, how you show up to the posts that you do, how you show up to the webinars that you host or the Zoom chats that you host? Are you showing up in a way where it's desperate? Okay? Because you're focused in on the sales versus focusing in on the impact. That drastically changes everything when you have a different approach on basically with everything you do, you are a leader and you are a presenter. And ready? Step number 1, you put your people first. Okay? Step number 1 for a killer introduction with whatever you're doing and however you're showing up to present, you put your people first. So that's the belief that you have to have. Of instead of, all right, I got to do whatever's possible to close the sale, it's I got to do whatever's possible to relate to my prospect. I've got to do whatever is possible to make sure that they understand that I'm here to support them. Now, if you're wondering but how do you position your products or position a presentation, I'll share with you guys really quick. In the description, and I'll also put it in the comments, there is actually a way for you to get access to a free video training series, and it's all about how to mass enroll in bulk. Okay, so you get more done in less time with simple presentations. Now, one of the things that I cover inside of video 2 is what I like to call the 3-second hook, okay, which basically allows you to share with your prospects through your presentation or through your promotions on social media what they're going to get from hanging out with you that directly impacts a problem that they're having because you've got some kind of solution that they can connect with. So I highly recommend that you go to the link that's either in the post or in the comments and make sure that you go get that video series because it can be super, super helpful and it directly aligns with what I'm talking about here. Putting your prospect first is the first step. So what does that mean? This directly transitions into the second step. What most people do in their trainings, what most people do in their presentations is they actually talk about or they think that they need to position themselves as an authority or they need to position themselves as I got to share all the awesome things that are going on in my life. I have to share and position myself and have this slogan of who I am and who I serve and whatnot. People don't care about that. People care about what you have that helps solve their problems. So the first thing you want to do inside of an introduction is you want to actually share something that gives them an insight and gives them a sneak peek of what you're going to be training about, what you're going to be presenting about, so that you have the ability to be able to have them go, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. I have to tune in. I have to stay. I have to make the commitment to avoid distractions or like turn off the television or, buckle the kids on the couch with a seatbelt or something like that, right? So when you put your prospect first by introducing and giving them like some curiosity on what you're going to be teaching on, what you're going to be sharing, it can be so impactful for you. So the first step is actually put your prospects first. When you start your presentation or when you start an introduction, let them know what they're going to be getting from you because when you set that expectation, they know what's in it for them. Second step, I started to weave into that, okay, is instead of when you introduce yourself, instead of saying, and I've won all these awards and I'm this and I'm that and I'm a top leader or I'm, full-time at home, all these kind of things, flip the script on your presentation and actually share the underdog embarrassing something that you've done. So for example, anytime I speak, whether it's on stage or I'm doing a virtual training or I'm introducing myself to a new community, because I actually tend to do that quite a bit. People ask me to come in, do a special training for them, and help educate through a presentation. And what I make sure that I share first is most people flip it. They start with all the super awesome things that are going on and how fabulous life is, but it wasn't always that way. I always struggled and blah, 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 blah. Instead, make the flip. Talk about something embarrassing you've done, something that they could relate to, a story, okay, of something that you did that wasn't effective, that you would want people to avoid, or that moment where it's like most people wouldn't want to share about it, but you are. And you're then positioning yourself as like the underdog. Because really your prospect's then thinking about number one, oh my gosh, they're just like me or they were just like me. Number two, wow, I'm not alone. So when you share a story or when you introduce yourself or when you say, hey, oh my gosh, this happened yesterday or this happened a couple of months ago and I can't believe that I can't believe that I did this. Have you ever done this before? You create that relatability and you showed that you were vulnerable enough to share something that most people wouldn't share. Because they want to puff out their chest. They want to show that, they've done all the awesome things and they're like super authoritative. Instead, make the relatability. Then let's talk about the third step of actually how you flip the script and you talk about a change that may have happened, or you talk about something cool that came from the story that you're going to be sharing, or results that you got when you changed your ways. I want you to consider that you have more results than you might think. You're just setting a crazy expectation for yourself on what the word results means. Those are results that you can paint a picture of that other people actually want. And in fact, when we wait to share those big, wild, and crazy results, we actually get disconnected from most of our prospects that are in this space and in this profession, because they're really still at the cutting edge of learning, how do I do what others do? Wow, I could never relate to somebody who, they've built they've 3x'd their teacher's salary or whatnot. They don't necessarily relate to that, but they relate to the fact that you did something that was kind of embarrassing or humiliating, then you changed your ways or discovered something or are going to educate them on something that allowed you to speak to your first prospect who was excited to hear from you, or to enroll 2, 3, 5, 10 people in bulk, right? So, step number 1 for creating a killer introduction. Focus on your prospect, okay? Realize that your dire need to focus in on a presentation is only about pitching an opportunity or a product for a sale is stalling you out on your business. So instead, the first step in creating a killer introduction is about thinking about your prospect first. What do they want to hear about that's going to allow them to desire to be distraction free and to pay attention to you, just like all of you are here commenting in with me. Second piece is be willing to share some insight, a story, a taste of an experience that you had that's embarrassing, or that might just be super raw, authentic, and vulnerable for you to create that relatability with your prospect. And then talk about what you've discovered as you're going to be, teaching and training throughout how you're presenting. Talk about a result that isn't about your ego, but it's about your prospect seeing the vision of a different path and seeing the vision of somebody else has that next little step that they're looking for, that now they want to pay attention to you and they want to continue to keep listening as you go through and as you move forward. Okay? I hope that this is valuable for you, and there's obviously more to it when it comes to how do you get your presentations out in front of the right people so that you can mass enroll, okay? Do more in less time. So I've got a free video training series that literally I've been whipping up, pulling some long hours and nights, getting some insight from some critical students and community members that have been sharing with me the things that they're really working on when it comes to being a powerful presenter. Take the vehicle out of your mind. Take that it has to be a webinar. Take that it has to be a Facebook Live. Take that it has to be, inside of a challenge group, or it's got to be, a hotel party or hotel meeting, and focus your time and attention in on showing up as a person who presents with power and has a structure on how they present, so that it becomes very, very easy for your prospects to say yes to you, and that they come to one place at one time, and it creates that opportunity for mass enrollment. Well, I got a lot of insight from people, so I created this free video series. Make sure that you either click on the link that's in the post or you click on the link that's in the comments, and you actually go get access to those videos now, because I know if that's something that you're struggling with, of all right, how do I actually hit the numbers I want to hit in the time that I have to work my business, and how do I actually present? I can attract people to me. I'm starting to learn how to get people to engage, but I can't seem to make that handoff between a prospect who's interested to a prospect that becomes a buyer, right? Becomes a product sale, who becomes a repeat product sale, who becomes a teammate of yours. Then you're going to love this video series, okay? So with that being said, I got to pop off. I really hope that you got value from this, and if you did, please comment in, and if it's something that you've got other people in your life that could also benefit from this as well too, please make sure that you share it with them, because the world needs more people who build businesses that they truly love, so that they didn't get to do the fun things that you want to do. So I will see you all soon. Take care, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.